Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the fifth video, maybe, of series or season four, playlist four, whatever you want to call it. My name is Anton, and as per usual, we have Raj on the scene. Raj,
Hello.
yep. And today we will actually not be doing any CADing. We might be looking at some CAD, but we just wanted to quickly talk about and introduce you to the different mechanisms, popular mechanisms used in FTC. So I have basically no clue of any, like, I don't really know much of the mechanisms in FTC. So I'm honestly on the same like knowledge levels as you guys. And that's why we have Raj, because he can actually talk about this stuff because he actually knows what he's doing. So cool. Um,
Yeah, my time to shine,
yep.
finally.
So we'll be working from the ground up, meaning we will start from the drive base. We will go to the intake and then the handoff, and then the outtake. Raj, are there any climbs in FTC or anything like? Oh, you guys had the.
There are climbs.
There are, okay.
Yeah, there are climbs,
Or
but
like,
like they're not too complex. It's
okay,
just um yeah, like hanging on some bar.
okay. And then we
So
could.
it's not like the cage ones
Oh
that
yeah,
were
yeah,
there
you're right.
in your game.
So let's talk about drive bases. Raj, you want to take it away?
Sure. So I guess there's three types of dry bases that you'll typically, or no, four types of dry bases that you'll typically see, but pretty much most of them will be this one type. So I'll just go through the list. Mechnum Drive, you probably use that. Most people use that. It's the current meta. No one is really switching away from it. There is Tank Drive, where Anton, if you want to scroll down on that drive base page,
Um,
oh, go to the kits.
I'm going with kits, and then chassis kits.
Yeah.
Oh, holy.
hmm
Okay.
Yeah, you see the ones in the top right.
Yep.
Those are basically, or the very top left one.
Oh yeah.
That's a
Oh
tank
yeah, this one
drive.
right here,
So it
basically.
basically doesn't allow you to strafe. So that's bad. Not very maneuverable. The next type is strafe, which is not offered over here. You have to make it on your own. Um, Anton, you want to explain this one? Pretty
Uh,
common in FRC.
the strafer one.
Yeah,
So yeah, sure.
it's basically the same. Yeah.
So the strafer one uses mechanism wheels. Um, you guys have definitely worked with mechanism wheels already. That was the dry base you guys had last year. In FRC, we actually use a lot of swerve for the dry bases, but mechanism wheels are used for centering game pieces. And that's where I will stop for FRC because we're talking about FTC right here. But it's a really nice dry base because it's not, as you see, it's not too complex at all. You just have to spin the wheels the opposite ways to go like to strafe. You can basically do donuts in them. I have done donuts with my dry base before. It's basically kind of very much in a nutshell version of a swerve for FRC. Raj, did I do good?
Yeah,
Oh, let's go.
that was good.
Let's go.
It's basically popping but powered.
Okay.
Yeah. The next type, you don't see this like at all, but it's called X Drive. It's not even on here. You have three wheels, and they're omni wheels, which basically means they can spin in one direction. But if you were to,
Oh, hell, here, I'll
yeah,
flip
this
move
side,
these. Oh my god.
sorry, four wheels, but they're basically omni wheels. So they can spin in only one direction, but if you move them in other directions, like there's little rollers that allow them to, I guess, slide across the or roll across the ground. You pretty much never see this because it's not the meta, and that's about it. Yeah, these are types of dry bases. just focus on Mechnum because that's the only one you're pretty much going to use.
I don't like this one. This one looks weird.
Yeah.
Um, and then I remember for when I was in FTC, we actually placed the motors vertically. Um, is that a possibility for you guys next year, or are you planning to just keep it underneath
Yes.
the U channel?
That's actually the plan because, well, I mean, it depends on the game, but we want to have side plates, so we need to make it a little bit smaller. So, I mean, width-wise, we won't need to, but if we need to make it lengthwise smaller, then we may need to mount them vertically.
Yeah, it's like this. So, and
Yep.
then there's also, I think, Raj, there's two strafer kits. Which one's 104 or 140?
104 because the 141 is too big and it doesn't really provide that like any advantage, I guess.
I see. Okay, cool. So those
Yeah.
are the dry base. I actually have it stored. Oh, it's the staff pack. Never mind. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
and then let's go on to intakes. Raj, any starting comments for those?
Yeah, so I mean, an intake is basically how you pick up your piece. I mean, there's typically two main schools of thought for an intake. You'll have one which is active versus one which is like a grabber type mechanism. So a grabber is something like a claw where you have to direct it towards your part, I mean, to the piece, and then you press some button to pick it up like this.
Yeah, picks up a. Yep, there you
Hmm.
go. Okay.
An active intake is one where you don't have to, it's like less hands on because you can keep it running while kind of just moving into game pieces and ideally get one, like this example over here. Those wheels are spinning, you just move it towards it and it picks it up.
Yeah. So I'm assuming a lot less um, driver kind of experience needed for the active intake.
Yeah, it's much better for the driver.
Yeah.
So typically, what I've seen is that if you're like a bad to like mid-level driver, active intake is pretty much always better. If you're a really skilled driver or you have some sort of vision system, then um, a claw is better because with a claw you can technically pick up faster, but it requires a lot more skill.
I see. And then kind of out of context question. For vision, do you guys have specific mounting points on the robot, or is it just like slap it on
No, we don't
something?
have specific mounting points. You can mount it wherever.
Okay, cool. All right. Um, anything else for intakes?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, cool.
We can move on to the next topic.
Yeah. Next topic is handoff. So handoff is the kind of process when your robot is in contact with the game piece, where it transfers over from the intake to the outtake. That is called handoff. So in FRC, there are actually people make usually three mechanisms on their robot, one for the intake, one for the handoff, and one for the outtake. But I understand for FTC, Raj, that is different.
Yeah, typically you'll have your intake will directly feed into the outtake. So there's no like third thing in between. I guess it they're mainly like two separate mechanisms. You can go back to that video, it demonstrates it pretty well.
Yeah. So it yoinks it, and then the outtake yoinks it from the intake, and then calls it a
Mhm.
day. And
Yep.
then, do you want to talk about the
So I,
slides? Oh,
I can explain first like the reason why it's better.
go for it.
Most FTC games there is a lot less strategy. It's mainly just placing pieces as fast as possible. So by having this sort of mechanism where you pick up pieces in the front and you can deposit them in the back, it means you have to turn your robot less. So it means you can move basically faster and cycle faster.
Mm, I see. Um, and then are there any
Yeah.
parts that you use off of GoBuilda to um, create the intake or the handoff?
Yeah, I mean, some things like just as simple as their intake wheels, like the gecko wheels, for
Yeah,
example.
wait,
Um,
motion.
Let me just check what category
Oh
it's
yeah, wheels and
under.
tires.
Yeah, right there, intake wheels.
Oh, gecko
Oh,
wheels.
in the bottom right.
So, oh yeah, you guys have a lot of options here. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also, those squishy gecko wheels, we can sometimes cut the tops and
Mm,
basically make them into intake wheels. But that's is basically any flexible wheel with like kickers on it to drag in pieces.
yep. Makes sense. Um, okay, and did you want to mention the slides right now, or did you want to mention them later?
Yeah, I'll mention the slides.
Cool.
So, a lot of you, I think both teams last year utilized slides on their robots. Um,
Let me go
you
there.
want to have slides on your intake as well as outtake just to make it as fast as possible. Remember, the general like design consensus in FTC is you want to move your robot like as little as possible.
Mm.
Mhm.
And then you mentioned something about Misumi slides.
Yeah, so Misumi slides are the one of like the best FTC slides. So I don't know how involved you were with like working on your slides, but this happened with us, and I'm pretty sure it happened with some of the other robots as well, where the slides would get stuck with one another,
Mm.
and it would basically result in like a lot of damages, and it would be difficult to repair. Um, Masumi slides are a lot better and stronger in that sense,
Mm.
so they break less. But the drawback is that you have to mount and string it yourself.
Yeah.
But
S-
we will be doing that. Yeah.
So these are the slides that I think every single team used last year. And
Mhm.
you're saying that the little metal actuating kind of slides in the middle broke a lot and got jammed. So
Mhm.
this is the replacement for them. And then you can actually download the kit over here. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Uh, Anton, I sent you a video of an example of not moving in FTC. This is like pretty much the meta that you want to have.
Oh my, holy. This is sad.
And
Oh my God.
then they just do that for the rest of the game.
So that's like low key zero driver. Oh, they just missed that one though. Oh my
This is
God.
Auton, so
Oh, it's Auton? Bro, that's so
yeah.
cooked. What? I thought this was driver. Holy. Oh my God, that is so cooked.
Yeah, but if it even though it looks sad, it's the meta. It's what you want.
And then I have like I remember there was like a rule that was introduced this past season about extending the robot.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, so that was actually meant to counteract what's going on over here. S- they did add an extension limit,
yeah,
so it will be a little bit reduced, the kind of stuff that's going on.
nice. Um, cool. Do you want to go on to the outtake?
Yeah, yeah. So outtake is pretty similar in vein. It's just the way that you place a piece. This year, I mean, this like the season that just finished for our robot, our outtake was more like a bucket where the piece would get dropped in and then we would dump it into the high basket. The drawback of that was that we had to use gravity to pull it down, which made it slower, obviously, which is why some teams will use a claw or a grabber where they'll pick it up directly from the intake. But I mean, the drawback of this is it's just more complex and could be more prone to failure, but it has benefits of just being faster.
Yeah, and then so I'm sure that this saying also exists in FTC, but in F4C we have something called touch it, own it. Meaning that the moment you touch a game piece with your robot, you want your robot to have full control over it. So what Raj was describing when he said he was relying on gravity, that means that the moment his bucket tipped just enough for the kind of for the sample to start sliding off the bucket, he kind of just said, "Jesus, take the wheel," and hopefully the sample, which I'm sure it did most of the time,
Mhm.
would drop into the bucket.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Uh,
But you have to rely on gravity to do so, and sometimes if the bucket was like full, then it wasn't as accurate,
yeah.
so that could be a problem.
And then for making the grabbers and whatnot more kind of resistant to breaks, there are actually kind of two ways to go about this. So one way is, let's just say you're 3D printing a grabber. You can make it out of a material called, we actually did cover this material, carbon fiber nylon, which is the more stronger of the materials that our 3D printers can create. So if they can like withstand some pretty harsh FRC contacts, I'm sure they'll be fine for FTC. But another actually alternative is making the 3D parts that you're creating repairable. So, Raj, you told me that you guys did a great job with that in regards with your bucket.
Yeah. Yeah, so what we ended up doing is during the season we added a second motor to our slide, which made it faster, but when coming down, if we didn't retract the bucket fast enough, it would get caught on the basket. And in order to prevent damage to the slide or the servo that was rotating the bucket, we made an engineered breaking point over there where the mounting between the bucket and the servo was designed to break if that would happen, and we had replacements which we did end up replacing during the competition.
Yep. So sometimes stuff breaking is actually good. Okay. Do you want to start? Is it worth going over climbs now, or is that like kind of uncommon?
Yeah. Climbs, I mean, sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. Climbs are pretty simple in FTC. They're most of the times just one bar where you can use like a linear actuator or even just a hook to climb on it. This year it was a little bit unique. They added a second level climb where you had to go from one level to the next, but um, yeah, that typically doesn't happen.
Is this a video? Oh my god.
Uh, yeah, sorry, third level extent. But yeah, they went from
Holy.
this, they would hook onto it, and then, yeah.
This is complicated. Holy. Okay. Um, and then I would say that before actually going like yellow with your climb, I would definitely prototype it. This is probably one of the more important parts or aspects, at least for last year's game, to prototype. Same with the FRC game, because most people thought the climb was impossible, but then it turned out that it was actually a pretty easy climb. So, okay. I have a couple of questions in Go Builder for you, Raj. One of those questions is, when do you guys use motors and when do you guys use servos?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So the we typically use motors for um, actions which need to be done, like which need to have a lot of power in them. So driving the robot, driving the slides, those are motor activities, I guess. Servos are mainly used for smaller, more precise movements like rotating a wrist, but you can use them for intake, but it's best to use a motor for that. Um, Servos also, they have two modes. One of them you can actually choose where to move it, but it can't rotate more than one full rotation versus when you turn it into just full on rotate mode, you can't control where it's going to go. So
Mm,
that's, but the main difference is just in the power,
I see.
which kind of dictates their use case.
Um, cool. And then anything we should know about gears, sprockets, belts, pulleys, or like, do you guys just, any specific things there, or?
No, nothing specific. Like we don't really use them too often, to be honest.
Ooh, okay, I see.
Maybe pulleys more with like the slides,
Mm,
but that's about it. Yeah.
cool. Anything else we should go over on the Go Build website, or just FTC in general, or is that it?
Um, I think that's it. I mean, just a little bit of advice for going into the season. For FTC, you end up seeing a lot of designs early on. Like a lot of people will do robot in 3 days, robot in 48 hours, even. And those type of videos can really help your prototyping process as you can really like you can see which things work, where people struggled, and kind of build off of that. And don't feel like scared to kind of replicate their design because you're not really copying it. You're kind of just gaining inspiration from what they're doing,
Yeah,
and that's how you grow.
yeah. There's.
I'm pretty sure Jeff has a saying
Oh
about
yeah, he
this.
does. He's uh, steal from the best, and then something about copy the rest. I don't know. I'll have to ask him. I know steal from the best is the very first part.
Yeah,
So
I think that's it.
yeah,
Steal from the best, copy the rest.
yeah.
All right, no, not copy the rest.
It's
Make up the
make
rest.
up the rest.
That's it.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, there's absolutely no need in reinventing the wheel. Um, if someone
Mm-hmm.
already did their homework, you might as well copy it. Um, and of course, you're
Yep.
welcome to make modifications, but RI3D and all the other resources that Raj mentioned are really, really good resources to be on a lookout, especially when you start your build season. So for those first few days, please don't just like go home and nothing, like do nothing for the for FTC. Like actually just be on a lookout for RI3D, RA in 48 hours, and like post your comments and
Yeah.
whatnot in
And
general.
join the FTC Discord server as well. People will post things in Robot Showcase as well, which has also been really helpful. And you can ask any question and pretty much just get an answer in like a few hours.
Yep. Um, so your success during the season really depends on the amount of commitment you're putting into the season for basically the whole season. Like the moment it starts, you have to start. Same with FRC, and I'm sure same with FLL. Okay. Anything else, Raj?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully, this was a nice break from Onshape. And we'll pick it up next time when we actually start to layout sketch these different mechanisms that were mentioned today.